We're talking about what if everything that we think that we know about the paranormal is wrong? Because we think that we've built up a pretty good knowledge base. That was the whole idea of debating on whether or not we could be experts, is that we feel like we've built up a pretty good idea of what it is that we think that we know about these things that are unknown.
Yep.
And so the question now becomes, what happens if it turns out that we're wrong? I was thinking about this the other day when I was talking to somebody here in the building about what it is that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to kind of put a disclaimer before everything that I said with, well, this is just in my experience.
Right.
You know, this is just in my experience, because you might hear from somebody else something totally different.
I do the same.
So I hate to pick on you first, Stephanie, but I'm going to.
Okay. Here we go.
Give us a brief one-sentence description of what it is that you do.
A brief one-sentence description.
What is it that you feel that you're doing when you're using your superpowers?
I don't think I can do one sentence. I mean, technically, what I'm doing is talking to dead people and telling you about your past, present, future, and yourself. But what I feel I do is help people with their grief.
Well, right. But I mean, just the process of what it is that you're doing is that you're talking to dead people.
Right.
Or not necessarily, talking to them, but, picking up things from them.
It depends on the psychic or medium. Me, myself, I'm having a conversation.
Well, no, but my point in saying that is that it's not something that we're involved in. It's something that you're doing.
Right.
So,
but I talk to them just like I talk to you.
But you don't have to, right?
It depends on the spirit and depends on how they want to communicate. Some of them, depending on like if they've done this before, can try to just like blurt out, a name, a date, a specific period in time, whatever it might be. Other ones that are, used to it or, just happen to communicate like that will just blurt out sentences, and I'll actually have to have them like slow down because I can't interpret that fast. Just
because I know that I've seen you like kind of nod and say, okay. And I don't know if that's so much that it's just that they're like rapid fire giving you information and you're just acknowledging it, or if it's that you're asking the question and I just don't hear you ask the question.
Yep.
Okay. So what if you found out that it's not dead people that you're talking to?
Okay.
And I know that you've gone through the process of verifying to yourself over the years that that's what it is that you're doing. But what if it's not? What if it is? What if it's that you're picking up something from the person that the person wants you to hear?
Okay.
That you may be giving a reading to. Or what if it's something that is internal within yourself that is still providing the information that is necessary? And I'm not saying that it's not, that you're picking up on something.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have a rebuttal for everything you say.
Right.
But I might be different than most people. So like, what you said is I might be picking up these things from these people that, they might be thinking
start with
about.
That first.
Okay. So I have the gift of telepathy, which you've obviously been witness to many times. I've done it to you. So I know the difference between the psychic energy and the mediumship energy. And I know the difference between if I'm reading your mind or if I'm listening to someone that's passed on. So I've already proven that to myself. So that one's hard for me to answer. I get what you're asking. And it's very possible. Just like, for example, something similar. We use dowsing rods and pendulums within ghost hunting, correct? In Reiki, in all my Reiki classes I teach about the aura field, about the chakra system, about your energy body. And one of the things that have been passed down for thousands of years is those tools pick up on your auric field. So if you're sitting there and you're using them, it's picking up on your own energy. It's going to make it move no matter what. Matt, as a scientist, I'm sure you're going to agree with me that, dowsing rods have been used for ever.
Millennia.
But it's not necessarily picking up ghostly energy. It's going to pick up your own energy as well. It's going to lead you to other things. So it's
Science
inaccurate.
Still doesn't know what they.
So,
but methodology is that.
But that doesn't also discount that it could be.
It doesn't.
Ghosts.
But at the same time,
what we think of ghosts is.
But the same similar question. Like there's two sides to everything. Your second idea was
that it's coming from within you. That it's an intuition.
Okay.
That's guiding you in the form of a conversation. Like, for example, okay, let me just throw this out there. People who are skeptical, if you told them, I talk to dead people, they might say, are you sure you're not schizophrenic?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure that these voices aren't coming, that these voices are not real, that they are, like, within your own head? What if it is in your own head?
What if I'm totally crazy?
And see, here's the thing, though, about what it is that you do.
Yep.
Like, if none of the stuff that you're getting was actually coming from dead people whispering in your ear, and it was actually coming from some intuition you were picking up from people, or if it was coming from something within yourself or what have you, I look at that and say, but the end result is still the same. It's still helping that person that's sitting down in front of you.
We've had this disagreement
because we've talked about it when we're talking about crappy mediums who are just taking advantage of people.
So my stance is going to be the same. So another part of how I read, which is much different than many others that I have come across, is I can also see the spirit physically. So if they're standing within the room, and I've been with you when like you've seen me do it. I don't know if I've been with you and I've done the same thing, but
I still have more fun with your telepathy ability, especially when you do it to your husband and he's still unwitting on it.
I do it to everybody.
Yeah.
But
But getting back to...
I can see them and physically, describe them standing next to me, in front of me. Like I've done that with you guys here in the room. I've done it with other people. But if that's the case, how can I be that crazy? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to ask these questions about what it is that you do, because you've had to go through so much of a validation process for yourself to believe it.
Yep. Because I'm just as skeptic as the next.
And then also having to have that kind of catalog so that you can share it with other people that don't believe you. But I think that it is possible that people, not somebody like yourself that's doing this all the time and doing it for people, but there's a lot of people who say, I'm sensitive, I have abilities, and I haven't really developed it, or I've always, and so it's entirely possible that those people are completely wrong about what it is that's happening to them. It's just
it's misunderstood at that point.
And they're looking for something that they can equate it to.
Right. So, I mean, that's a large part of why I try to teach as much as I do, because I want people to get in touch with intuition first, learn what intuition is, learn what your gut feeling is, and then moving on to mediumship. And I tell everybody all the time that everybody's psychic. Everybody has that gut feeling. What you develop it to, like, you might have... you might hit your ceiling, you might hit your threshold, and that's as far as you can go. That's as far as you're meant to go. I don't know. I'm not the one that controls that. But mediumship is a whole other creature. And every medium is psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. So when it comes to that and it comes to that energy, I start everybody off really slow to try to figure out what it is that you're good at and what abilities that you might hold yourself. And I try to explain that to them as they're going through this in order to help them understand what it is, because you might think you have an ability that you do not. Like I tell people all the time, psychometry. Psychometry is part of psychic phenomena. I hate psychometry. I can't stand psychometry, but I'm excellent at it. And I just don't like it, and anytime I ever had to do it, it's almost like I got into my own head. I didn't want anything to do with it. Bad things would happen, but I can do it with my eyes closed, hands tied behind my back. It doesn't matter. We did it live on air here where Andy had the bag under my chair. I don't like it, but I teach people this stuff and I'm honest about my own experiences, and like I build you up from the ground up so that way we can figure out what you have going on. And most of the time people like, I'm a medium. No, you're not. Let's back it up.
And also, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you have to.
Exactly. Yep.
Like I can do laundry, but I don't like to do it, so I'm not going to.
I was waiting for that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean that you have. It's not like because you've been thrust upon with these gifts or been able to develop these gifts more than the average person, you have some sort of an obligation to have to do it.